Hi, I'm Debra Sullivan, and I am a passenger on the Terror Express.
Hello, everybody. This is Jason Bradford with the Terror Express, and today we have Debra Sullivan. I know you've seen her on Secret Santa, and if you haven't, you need to. Debra, how are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. What I would like to start with would be to go back a few years. I would like to talk let's talk about Debbie Reynolds and the unthinkable Molly Brown and how that led you down the path to your life where you're at now. What was that journey?
Oh, I don't even believe you know this. Wow. Well, when I was a kid, I had a single mom and we didn't have a lot of money. And the one thing that made her life easier was to, which no one would ever do now, was to take me to a movie theater and just drop me off for the day. And it was always two movies, and you would spend a whole day in there. And I always, from the time I can remember, I wanted to sing and dance and act, and this is what I wanted to do. And then I saw The Unsinkable Molly Brown with Debbie Reynolds, and I still am fascinated with Debbie Reynolds. I think she may have been crazy, but she was a beautiful woman, just a beautiful human being. And I saw The Unsinkable Molly Brown, and I was just like, that's it. That is it. That's what I want to do with my life. And I think I don't know, I don't even know how old I was. I'm not going to date myself, but young. And everybody in my family thought, okay, well, she's nuts, whatever. And I would create shows and knock on the neighbors' doors and sing songs for them and then make them pay me money. And I just wouldn't take no for an answer. For a while, I wanted to be a ballerina, but we couldn't afford ballet classes or anything. So I would find anything that could allow me to do that kind of stuff within the confines of what we had, money wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I sang in the chorus in school all through elementary school and junior high. And then in high school, I did some modeling, and I wanted to take acting. That was like what I really wanted to do. But I had a stepfather who wasn't particularly fond of that type of thing and forbid me from doing anything like that. So then I had to try and find workarounds around that. So, I modeled in the school fashion show, and I tried out for cheerleader, and I did anything that I could. Then I got married, had a kid, got divorced, and now I was a single mom. And I was suddenly, it hit me. And I was like, I don't have anybody who can tell me what I can or cannot do. I am in charge of my own life now. So I signed up at the adult school to take an acting class. I knew nothing. I mean, I knew nothing. And I really liked that. And I seemed to have an aptitude towards that. And the local community college was put on huge productions. I've actually met some very well-known people in the industry doing theater there. Nice. And so I was in the curriculum, and you get the booklet with all the classes, and each class has a number and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I showed up on registration day, and I said, okay, I want to sign up for this class. And nobody could figure out how to put me in that class. They're just like, there was no way to sign me up. So they finally just said, look, just show up for the first class and just tell them you want to add the class. So I was like, okay. So I show up the first day, and I am now watching a full rehearsal of The King and I. And I sat there dutifully and I watched the whole rehearsal and I waited till they were done. And then I walked up to the director and said, okay, I want to be in this class. I want to be in this show. And he's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Yes, it is a class, but you have to audition. And we've already auditioned. We've already cast all the parts. And I was like, no, it says right here that this is a class and I can sign up for this class. So how do I do it? And he's like, okay, fine. Can you sing? And I said, yes, I can. He said, fine, go over to the choral director and sing for him. And if he says, okay, we'll make you one of the wives. And I was like, okay. And I went in and I got in the show and then I got a couple lines and I just started going from there. I did musical theater. I did regular plays. Then I got a commercial agent and I started booking commercials and then I booked television shows and here we are today.
And you've done theatrical, you've done musical, you've done writing, you've done acting. You have all these different hats. Which hat does your passion lie under?
Acting always. Yeah.
Let's talk about Shari Pope. How did you develop her character? How did you morph her into the deliciously wonderful wicked woman that she is?
The horrible person that she is.
Wickedly wonderful.
Well, thank you. Well, she is a combination of several people who I shan't name, but there are people who, well, everybody has some horrible side to them that slips out every once in a while, and other people just go, oh my God, can't believe you just said that. And so Adam and I sort of culled together things from those women and just kind of mushed them all together into one insanely crazy woman.
Yes, and she was so much fun to watch. That entire family was really fun to watch.
Thank you.
Yes,
it was very fun to play.
Let's talk about Skeleton Crew. This is when I looked up Skeleton Crew, I found a nice little thing. I'm going to quote here. So let me read from this because I don't want to get this wrong here. It says, Sullivan, Sexton, and Marcus have created a company where filmmakers and artists can find their voices and tell stories that inspire. Tell us a little bit about Skeleton Crew and how that came about.
Well, Skeleton Crew came about because of a horrible experience that we had making one of our films. We had a lead actor who was very difficult to work with and made things very difficult. And the sad part is it was like one of the best experiences we've ever had, because we brought 26 of our actors to New Mexico to be in it. And we all hung out together and, rented a few houses together. So that part of it was amazing. But the actual shooting of it was made nearly impossible by the lead actor and by the production company, who was doing some sneaky stuff that didn't give us the opportunity to make it for the movie for the money that we thought and were told we were going to make it for. So it became a real headache. But on that film, and this is, this goes back to try not to have regrets, because you never know what is going to come out of it. On that film, we met Brian Sexton, who worked for the production company, and he wasn't happy with what was going on and where he was. So a couple years later, after we wrote Texas Chainsaw 3D and went through all kinds of garbage with that, and having the movie, again, asked to write a $20 million film, they turn it into an $8 million film. They rewrite a bunch of our stuff. And then it comes out, and because our names are on it as writers, we get all the crap about why would you do this, and this doesn't make sense, and what, and it becomes very difficult to say, yeah, but we didn't do that. And Brian wasn't happy where he was, and I had been saying for years, we just need to make our own movies. We just need to, but we had to be in a place where we were okay with that. And so we talked to Brian, and we're like, you know what? We want to make the movies that we want to make. Mm-hmm. And then if they don't work, they don't work, and we're to blame, and it's all ours. But if they work, it's all ours. And that's sort of the philosophy. So we have different divisions in the company, and one of our divisions is our lower budget division, which we want to help like writers who never got their chance to direct, or actors, who are of a certain age and hardly get to work, and just really open it up and make lower budget films that people can actually feel proud of,
Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Filmmakers are striving to have more diverse inclusion in films. Is this a conscious thought for you as a writer and as an actor? And what stage of the process should this come into play? When you're writing the story, or further along in the casting process?
When we're writing the story.
Okay.
But we've always been that way. I mean, we were writing strong women characters before it was popular to write strong women characters. And, we have been told, this is great, but, can't you make the lead a man? Yeah, we can, but that's not what we wrote, and that wasn't our intention.
Right.
And with Skeleton Crew, one of the things is we have an amazing stable of actors who are different ages, different nationalities, different races. And a lot of times when we write, especially on our lower budget stuff, we are writing with our actors in mind. So we just automatically integrate all of that stuff. But even when we're writing our big budget stuff that, maybe somebody else is going to direct, and we don't have a lot of room to make sure it's just our actors, we write the characters so that they are inclusive of anyone. And that's another thing. People now, and I completely understand why, are writing things very specifically as far as race and gender and stuff like that, to be purposefully inclusive, which is a great thing. But I would prefer to just write a character that can be played by a man or a woman or a person of color or a person not of color, or, if you see it a lot on television. If there's going to be a doctor, why do you have to state what race the doctor is?
Exactly.
Unless it's integral to the story, why do you have to state how old the doctor is? Why does the doctor have to be a male instead of a female? And I think as the pendulum swings, people are I have seen breakdowns come out like that are, doctor, any age, any race,
Yes.
Male or female. And that way you're not pigeonholing it. And a lot of times writers will write specifically because it's to the story, we don't try to bend things around to make things fit, but we will write to the story and what makes sense for the story. So we have always been inclusive, especially with people of color, with people of their sexual preference. We have gay characters in our things. We have straight characters. We have Black people, Indian people, Native American people, Filipinos. I mean, we have, and white people. We have it all.
And that's just one more reason to be so proud of Skeleton Crew and to follow and to share and to, I'm going to say, celebrate in all the things that you guys do, because it's just, you're groundbreaking, and it's a terrific to hear that there's so much thought in that process. Now, you had mentioned Hearts of Darkness. Is there any other projects or appearances coming up that you would like to promote?
Yeah. Well, Hearts of Darkness, now that the pandemic is over, thank goodness, we've got all but 2 interviews, I think, but we're already in the process of editing and putting it all together. So that's really exciting. And as I said, Adam will have an announcement that I will not give away, because
Yes,
he needs to do that. This is his baby.
Yes, absolutely.
We're in the process. We just finished a rewrite on a feature that we wrote many years ago that a company is interested in putting up the financing for. So we will be producing it, and that is very exciting. And then Secret Santa just keeps giving. We Curtis Fortier, who plays Uncle Carter in Secret Santa, called us the other day and said, I was talking to some people at Big Bear, where we shot the film here in California, are having their first ever film festival. And they contacted Curtis because we shot it in Big Bear. And they're like, can you bring Secret Santa to the festival? So we're going to be the featured film at the inaugural festival for Big Bear, which is very exciting. Yeah. Adam is getting ready. He's going to be at, I can't even keep track. He's going to be at a convention in LA in October. And then he's going to be in another convention in Pennsylvania, I think in December. So he's going to be out there promoting it, and also, signing and doing stuff like that. So if you're in LA, check it out. He will be out there. Come see him.
Do you believe in the supernatural or the paranormal?
My mother had a very specific scent. She always wore the same perfume, and she smoked cigarettes. So everything in her house smelled like that. And about, I want to say, 6 months to a year after she passed away, she died of lung cancer from smoking. I walked downstairs into my living room and I smelled her. And there wasn't anything in my house that had been in her house. So it was like, oh, hey, Mom, how's it going?
They do have that way of leaving scents and things for their loved ones to remember them and to know that they're still here. I really believe that very strongly. Yeah,
it was weird, but it didn't freak me out. I'm sure some people would be really freaked out by that. But I was just like, no, there's my mom. Hey, Mom, how's it going?
I'm going to ask you a series of questions. This is the express round.
Speed round question.
Speed round. Okay. First one. What is your favorite horror film?
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa. Yes.
But The Exorcist.
If you wrote an autobiography about your life, what would be the name of the book?
What is wrong with this woman?
Okay, so now your autobiography is #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, and they're making it into a movie. Who's going to play you?
Me.
Of course, you have to.
I would have not a clue. Not a clue.
Is there life on other planets?
Yes.
Yes. What is your biggest phobia?
Bees. The first time I got stung by a bee was actually in my nose.
Oh.
Yes, I was riding on the back of a motorcycle, and there were bees, and not honeybees, but those mean yellow jackety bees. And one came and got me right there.
What will be your legacy?
What is the quote from Galaxy Quest? Never give up, never surrender.
Oh my God, I'm probably gonna lose my sci-fi card here. I've only seen Galaxy Quest once, and it was so long ago. All I remember was Sigourney Weaver looked good with blonde hair.
Yes, I believe that's the show that the Galaxy Quest show that they get zapped up from. That's Tim Allen's characters. Never give up, never surrender. That'll be my legacy.
That'll be your legacy. That's a great legacy.
I've had a wonderful time talking with you and seeing you again. It's always nice.
Always. Thank you, and have a great evening.
You too, sweetheart.
Bye.